to invite for the official welcome remarks the astute, the visionary, the energetic, the man who has brought vibrancy. He has become the order today at the Liberian Maritime Authority. This one please to call to the stage the Commissioner and Chief Executive Officer of the Liberian Maritime Authority, Councillor Nito Zazala Senior, for welcome remarks. You are most welcome.
Maritime Administration.
Thank you.
Is about to comment.
Honorable members of the Committee on Maritime of the House of Representatives and Senate, I have both of my chairmen present. Your Excellency, Chairperson of the Association of African Maritime Administration, AAMA, members of the Executive Council of AAMA, representative of the International Maritime Organization, the IMO, our guests of honor, the Honorable Director General and CEO of the Nigeria Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, Dr. Dayo Moribola, and our special friend from Saudi Arabia, distinguished representatives of all international and sub-regional organizations present, members of the diplomatic corps, officials of government present, distinguished delegates, members of the Fourth Estate, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Liberian Maritime Authority and the government and people of the Republic of Liberia, it is my utmost pleasure to welcome you all to the Republic of Liberia. We are sincerely delighted to have you all in Liberia attending the 8th annual conference of the Association of African Maritime Administrations, AAMA. Despite our long-standing history in shipping and global maritime governance and leadership, this is the first time Liberia is hosting the annual meeting of a major regional or continental maritime organization or association. This speaks to how proud we are to have you visiting with us in Liberia, and we are confident that your expertise and experience will greatly enrich the discussions and deliberations over the coming days. We are gathering at a time when Africa's maritime sector is confronted with many challenges. These challenges include, but not limited to, piracy, geopolitical tensions, infrastructure deficits, environmental degradation, and regulatory gaps. While these challenges are not insurmountable, what is clear is that they transcend national borders, and no country can solitarily address them within its institutional and jurisdictional limits. There are shared challenges, and addressing them requires us to pool together our resources, expertise, and knowledge. AAMA provides the institutional framework for collaboration and cooperation in tackling our shared challenges as a continent and establishing Africa as an enviable maritime powerhouse. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, We are also gathered at a time when the roles of maritime administrations are increasingly evolving. In addition to their traditional functions of regulating the maritime sector by ensuring maritime safety, security, and the protection of marine environment, maritime administration are now expected to be involved into other commercial and economic sector of the state. These include facilitating trade, fostering economic growth, and partnering with the private sector to explore opportunities in many maritime business areas. At the Liberian Maritime Authority, we are graciously embracing the evolving trend and positioning ourselves to meaningfully drive economic growth in Liberia. The Liberian Maritime Authority is currently implementing a 5-year strategic plan that seeks to position the maritime sector of Liberia as a pathway to sustainable growth and development. The plan provides the roadmap for developing new business streams such as ship demolition and recycling, seafaring, bunkering, ecotourism, and expanding the domestic maritime sector. This plan also seeks to ensure a vibrant maritime sector by prioritizing the safety and security of our seaports, the jurisdictional waters of Liberia, and other critical maritime infrastructures. For our private sector partners here present, we are looking forward to working with you in some of these maritime investments through private-public partnership and other mechanisms. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all this fits into the broader blue economy concept. Africa's blue economy holds immense potential for marine transport, trade, sustainable development, food security, job creation, renewable energy, marine transport, tourism, and climate resilience. To maximize the potentials of the blue economy, we must first address some of the challenges confronting the sector, such as illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, limited investment, and limited capacity. The African Union has set the roadmap for exploiting the potential of Africa's blue economy sector through the Africa Blue Economy Strategy that aims to harness continent's aquatic resources for sustainable development, addressing challenges while promoting socio-economic growth for Africa and its people. Because the blue economy is a relatively new concept that is still evolving, many African countries are still determining the appropriate institutional structure for exploring its opportunities. While some countries have chosen to create separate ministries and departments for the blue economy, others, including Liberia, have chosen to incorporate it under existing ministries and agencies. These differences in approach highlight, in part, the need for a continental collaboration and coordination if Africa is to adequately harness its blue economic potential. I believe AAMA, the Maritime Organization of West and Central Africa, MOCA, and other continental and regional organizations should collaborate more with the AU on the maritime transport component of the blue economy. This is crucial and needs urgent attention. Distinguished delegates and esteemed visitors, it is a pleasure to host this meeting and to have you visiting with us. I hope you enjoy the hospitality of the people and culture of Liberia. Thank you for accepting to come to Liberia. I wish you a productive and enjoyable stay in Liberia. Once again, you are all welcome. Thank you.
Thank you ever so much, the Commissioner and Chief Executive Officer of the Liberian Maritime Authority. We'll take a break to bring you a video relating to activities of the Liberian Maritime Authority. We'll take a break.
How did a small West African nation come to command one of the world's largest merchant fleets? Liberia's story begins with the sea. Founded by freed slaves, its early survival depended on maritime trade. But its modern fleet was born from a deal. In 1948, American and Greek tycoons needed a flag with low taxes. They found a partner in President Tubman. It worked. Liberia became the world's #1 registry, funding the nation for decades. But a 1980 coup brought sanctions. Ship owners fled. The golden age ended. After the war, the government of Liberia revived it, transforming Liberia into a quality flag known for safety and standards. Today, its leadership is recognized globally. Join us as Liberia hosts Africa's top maritime administration, steering the continent's maritime future for the 8th AAMA conference under the theme Safeguarding Our Ocean, Promoting Decarbonization in Shipping, Exploring Africa's Blue Economy Potential from September 30th to October 3rd, 2025 at the EJS Ministerial Complex in Congo Town, Monrovia. Liberia's flag is again a global leader. In addition to its invaluable world-class registry, which currently stands as the world's largest ship registry, Liberia is a council member of the International Maritime Organization, IMO, at the level of Category A, the only African nation relishing such prestigious feat, a testament to a nation that found its power not in building ships, but in writing the rules. Liberia, a true maritime giant.
I think we can do better than that. A true maritime giant. That's the Liberian Maritime Authority. At this time, I will invite to the stage the Honorable Superintendent of Massarauga County, the county that is hosting this historic and unique conference, Honorable Warren Bryant.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, kindly allow me to stand on the protocol being established by the host of this very unique occasion. Thank you. Today, I'm honored to be here with so many respected maritime leaders from across Africa. Together, our shared experience and teamwork put us in a stronger position to make a real difference. By working as one, we can find new ways to protect our blue economy and help it strive for future generations. With increasing global interconnections, protecting our oceans is a critical priority. Future economic opportunities, making it essential for our continent to unite and take decisive actions to safeguard marine resources in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals number 14. As major stakeholders and actors in the maritime sector of Africa gather to brainstorm and explore new ideas under the theme Safeguarding Our Ocean, Promoting Decarbonization in Shipping, Exploring Africa's Blue Economic Potential, we are and remain confident of the group of this great sector and its resilience. Let me also join our dedicated team at the Liberian Maritime Authority in welcoming you and wishing you a pleasant stay. We are overwhelmed with joy to host you all in Massarauga County, being the first county in the Republic of Liberia. It is our expectation that the deliberations would have back will be result-oriented where its intended intent. Having said that, Mr. CEO, Mr. Commissioner, can you allow me to assure your guests, many of whom have solid background in ocean-related field, and have to discuss the issues about exploring the potential in the blue economy, is to remind them also that besides blue, there are other colors of the economy. And I know that you're going to spend hours here around the table strategizing the way forward. But I do know too, at the end of all the different deliberations and all the different coloring, let me assure you, as superintendent of this county, that you are at liberty to explore the other colors of the economy. And don't hesitate to call me if you need help to show you some of the places that the different colors are. Thank you so very kindly. Enjoy your stay.
Thank you so kindly also, Mr. Superintendent. Our next remarks will come from Honorable Jonathan Borcha Sowe. He is the Chairman, Committee on Maritime, the Honorable House of Senate. Honorable Sowe.
A pleasant good morning to all of you. And on behalf of the Liberian Senate, I'd like to welcome you to Liberia in our own name. On behalf of the protest and other members, we say welcome to Liberia. I'm pleased to be a part of this 8th Association of African Maritime Administration Conference. And I'm glad that it's happening in Liberia because we at the Liberian Senate has our own concerns with regard to safety. And now that you are here, I heard the DG speak of safety matters, and so I'm sure it will be discussed during your deliberations on the plenary. We are also concerned about seafarers in our different waters because we have most of them coming to us and laying their complaints with respect to them being trained at a certain point and never hired. These and other issues will be discussed while you have your conference, and let's see what we can do. But we want to thank you for having Liberia as your host, and we are looking forward to working with you should you come up with any piece of a call or legislation that's needed for us to put in full swing for the smooth operation of your administration. We are sitting down there on the other end and will expeditiously expedite that to make sure your working is smooth. We want to thank you again. I say welcome to Liberia, and if this is your first time, before you leave, please try something, one of our dishes they call pepper soup. Thank you, and thank you very much.
Honorable Jonathan Borcha Sowe. And so the maritime sector, you have the full support of the Liberian Senate. Next for remarks, Honorable Austin Lily Taylor is the Chairman, Committee on Maritime, the Honorable House of Representatives.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Commissioner of the Liberian Maritime Authority, distinguished Honorable Jonathan Borcha Sowe from the House of Representatives. Senator, sorry. I'm from the House of Representatives, so everything I say will be related to that. Members of the Association of the African Maritime Administration, esteemed delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to have been given this opportunity to make a remark on this 8th conference of the Association of African Maritime Administrations under the theme Safeguarding Our Oceans, Promoting Decarbonization in Shipping and Exploring Africa's Blue Economy. AAMA continues to play a pivotal role in shipping in the African maritime sector, fostering cooperation among member states and strengthening Africa's voice within the global maritime community. Through the collective efforts of AAMA, we have witnessed an improved implementation of international maritime regulations and protocols, and are now seeing new and emerging shipping companies and ship owners increasingly finding value in registering their vessels under African flags of convenience, a sign of growing trust and competitiveness in our various administrations. But to fully realize this potential, African states must harness and utilize our available expertise by supporting and encouraging the establishment of African classification societies and African protection and indemnity clubs. These institutions will provide more tailored and regionally responsive services to the fleets that proudly fly the African flags. Equally important is our responsibility to align with the 2023 IMO greenhouse net zero emission strategy by or around 2050. That is the greenhouse gas net zero emission strategy. AAMA can serve as a unified platform to guide member states in adopting cleaner technologies, investing in green shipping corridors, and ensuring Africa remains at the forefront of sustainable maritime practices. Beyond environmental stewardship, safeguarding our oceans also means tackling coastal trafficking of illicit drugs and other transnational crimes. AAMA's role in fostering stronger maritime governance and cooperation will be critical in enhancing regional security and protecting African coastal waters from illicit drug trafficking and piracy. Finally, the future of Africa's blue economy lies in its people. AAMA must continue to advocate for greater training opportunities, capacity building programs, and employment of African seafarers across the global shipping industry. By empowering our citizens, we not only strengthen our maritime labor force, but we also ensure Africa reaps the full benefits of its ocean economy. Together, through solidarity and innovation, AAMA can help build, safeguard its oceans, drive decarbonization, and unlock the vast potential of its blue economy. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Taylor. Our next remarks will come from Her Excellency, Nona Duplex, Ambassador, European Union Commission Representative. Is there anyone from the European Union? Yes, I'm here.
Thank you. Honorable dignitaries, esteemed delegates, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to stand on existing protocols. I wish to extend greetings from the European Union Ambassador. My name is Maria Winnicks, but I extend greetings from the European Union Ambassador, Ms. Nona Dupre, who unfortunately is not able to attend today's important meeting. She regrets not being able to be among you. Since the topic of this year's conference, Safeguarding Our Ocean, Promoting Decarbonization in Shipping, Exploring Africa's Blue Economy Potential, is as valued to Liberia as it is to the European Union. Through its global gateway, the European Union supports partner countries such as Liberia and closes the global investment gap in areas such as digital, transport, health, education, and last but certainly not least, climate and energy. And you can see here it's more than just the blue color, it's also other colors included. The latter is a key area, climate and energy is a key area where our interests fuse together. It is well known that the European Union's target for 2030 is a 55% net reduction in greenhouse gas emissions compared to the 1990 levels. This is a legally binding target established by the European climate law as part of the European Green Deal. And here we go back to the green and not the blue. Aiming to achieve climate neutrality by 2050. The EU is working fervently to meet this target through the Fit for 55 legislative package, which revises and creates new legislation and instruments, including the EU emission trading system and the carbon border adjustment mechanism. It is with this in mind that the European Union wishes to recognize Liberia's important role as chair of IMO's Marine Environment Protection Committee, in addition to its critical role as alternate permanent representative of Liberia to the IMO. Under Liberia's leadership, the IMO 2023 greenhouse gas strategy was successfully adopted. Anticipating a projected rise in climate change impacts, you, Liberia, have shown leadership in adopting this strategy that aims to achieve net zero greenhouse gas emissions by around 2050, as the previous speaker also mentioned. Advancing Liberia's global standing in maritime affairs. It brings us all one step closer to our joint agenda to achieve climate neutrality by 2050. It's an example that shows the potential to make a difference in the world stage when we all act in unison. In appreciation of the efforts made, the European Union continues to seek ways and means to underwrite its own climate ambitions and those of its partners, with innovative financing mechanisms such as green bonds, blue bonds, and other climate finance schemes that will allow significant investments to be made in collaboration with financial development institutions. No doubt we continue to exchange on this point. Honorable dignitaries, esteemed delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it is no secret that Liberia has an interest in reducing greenhouse gas emissions. After all, Liberia has the world's largest open registry fleet, which, as of the figures recorded in late 2025, includes over 5,000 ships ferrying 286 million gross tons around the world. This global fleet plays an essential role in global trade, moving over 80% of world merchandise by volume. As an open registry, it is accessible to foreign ship owners, allowing them to register their vessels and operate under Liberian maritime law. It is the world's largest by tonnage, with a significant portion of the global fleet registered under Liberia's flag. It will come therefore as no surprise to anyone that the vessel's contribution to global greenhouse gases is significant, accounting for approximately 3% of all global greenhouse gas emissions, or about 1,000 million tons of CO2 annually. It carries a heavy burden on all of us, not least Liberia. It is important to join hands and minds seeking ways to reduce the shipping industry's reliance on carbon-intensive bunker fuels. The European Union's work on more fuel efficiency and reduced pollution in maritime shipping, as well as the introduction of the carbon border adjustment mechanism, are just some of the instruments through which we can jointly address the worst excesses in terms of impact on climate change. As a final point, the European Union shares the same objectives as Liberia and its people. peace and stability, and sustainable and inclusive development. We want to be part of the journey of creating a better future for young Liberians. Today, it is time to recognize that Liberia and the European Union have built a long-term partnership founded on our shared values, the respect of human rights and fundamental freedoms, democratic principles, good governance, and the rule of law. These shared values bring us together also on the blue economy and in safeguarding our oceans. I'm pleased to see so many delegates from all over Africa and Arab countries united in this room. The European Union effectively supports many activities in maritime security, including in the Gulf of Guinea region, as well as environmental protection such as the Beyond Border National Jurisdiction, the so-called BBNJ Agreement, also known as the High Seas Treaty, aiming to protect the integrity of marine life and resources. Ahead of the United Nations Ocean Conference last June, Liberia signed up to the BBNJ Agreement, a big step forward in conservation of marine life and its biodiversity, protecting the livelihoods of Liberia's fisher folk. Liberia is a signatory to the Economic Partnership Agreement between the European Union and the West African states. We look forward to work with Liberia and all partners united in this room under the banner of the Association of African Maritime Administrations. Let's continue to cherish our ocean and nurture its full potential in the long term. It is in our mutual benefit. Of particular importance is good governance and respect of the rule of law in the sector. The European Union is very much aware of the decision pre-identifying Liberia's so-called yellow card status in the fight against illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing. Liberia's joining of the Fisheries Transparency Initiative earlier this year is an encouraging step forward. We stand ready to support Liberia in any way we can. Work continues to be necessary though. Honorable dignitaries, esteemed delegates, ladies and gentlemen, there is still a road to travel and waves to conquer. Let's take that road, tackle the waves, side by side in continued partnership. Let's explore together Africa's blue economic potential. I thank you for your attention.
And thanks so kindly for the representation from the European Union. And next, we'll call His Excellency AAMA, Deputy Maritime Transport General Authority.
The European Union.
Your Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, distinguished heads of delegations, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, it's an honor to address this distinguished gathering at the 8th Annual Conference of the Association of African Maritime Administrations here in Monrovia. We extend our deepest gratitude to the government of Liberia and His Excellency, the President, of their leadership in convening this important forum. Allow me first to extend the warmest greetings of the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, and His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince, Prince Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud. Under their leadership, Vision 2030 has placed maritime development at the very heart of our national transformation. Excellencies, we gather at the defining moment in maritime history. The oceans are trade routes and also importantly, lifelines of global prosperity. For energy, for food security, and for the millions of the young men and women whose future depends on a thriving blue economy. The theme of this conference, Energy Transition and Africa Blue Economy, Investment Potentials, is not an abstract vision, it's a core to action. Around the world, maritime nations face the dual challenge of reducing emissions while unlocking the economic opportunities of our oceans. Africa, with its vast coastlines and dynamic economies, is uniquely positioned to lead in shaping a sustainable blue economy. Unlocking this potential requires more than resources. It requires partnerships which are fair, enduring, and transformative, and Saudi Arabia stands ready as both as an investor and a partner. Guided by the Vision 2030 and the National Transport and Logistics Strategy of Saudi Arabia, we are building one of the world's leading logistics hubs, connecting continents through trade while ensuring the growth in sustainable and inclusive and fully aligned with international standards and sustainability goals. Today, Saudi ports rank among the most advanced globally, with 10 major commercial ports, over 290 berths, and a total handling capacity exceeding 1.1 billion tons annually. Our merchant fleet is the largest in the region, with the fleet deadweight tonnage surpassing 8.5 million tons. And projects such as NEOM Port demonstrates how clean energy, automation, and smart technologies can redefine the future of logistics. Environmental stewardship is also at the heart of our maritime vision. The Kingdom is implementing groundbreaking initiatives to foster sustainable maritime growth, including a commitment under a Saudi Green Initiative to plant 100 million mangrove trees by 2030, preserving coastal ecosystems and promoting marine biodiversity. Our maritime vision extends beyond national borders. We believe strongly that progress must be shared and that no region should be left behind in the global transition to a sustainable blue economy. Excellencies, Saudi Arabia does not come to Africa as a distant observer, but as a partner. We see investment opportunities in green shipping corridors where African ports can serve as hubs for low and zero emission fuels. We see joint ventures in shipbuilding, repair, and logistics, building jobs and knowledge to coastal line or to coastal communities. We see collaboration in maritime academies and training centers, building human capital that will serve Africa and the world for generations. We see also the opportunity of bilateral and multilateral MOUs as engines of real, measurable progress. Together, we can ensure that Africa Blue Economy is not only a story of potential, but a reality of prosperity. In this spirit, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is pleased to announce the following, reflecting our partnerships with Africa and our solidarity with our fellow IMO member states. Firstly, the Transport General Authority is proud to announce today that the government of Saudi Arabia has approved a contribution of $200,000 to the West and Central Africa Maritime Security Trust Fund. This is not only a financial gesture, it is a statement of confidence in Africa maritime future and a recognition that security is the foundation upon which all investment and growth must be built. At the same time, we are expanding the Next Wave Seafarer project, adding 20 new training seats for developing countries, ensuring that young Africans can sail, learn, and lead. These are the future captains, engineers, and innovators of tomorrow's shipping industry. And because prosperity must never come at the expense of dignity, Saudi Arabia is funding pioneering research at the World Maritime University with the International Maritime Organization to tackle the crisis of seafarer abandonment. We We are also advancing digital trade facilitation through the Caribbean Smart Project, a pilot facilitation project in the Caribbean piloting system that will support maritime trade. The results of which could support Africa ports in streamlining trade, reducing costs, and increasing competitiveness on global markets. These initiatives reflect our conviction that maritime development must serve people first, by protecting seafarers, investing in skills, and ensuring secure and resilient shipping links. Ladies and gentlemen, Saudi Arabia has always believed in the IMO as the cornerstone of global maritime governance. Our bid for re-election to the IMO Council under Category C later this year is not only a reflection of our maritime achievements, but also a pledge to serve the global community, especially developing nations. Through initiatives such as the West and Central Africa Trust Fund contribution, Next Wave, Seafarers Expansion, and WMU research on seafarers abandonment, Saudi Arabia demonstrates its commitment to share the responsibilities, fairness, inclusivity, and supporting our member states in shaping the future of maritime transport. In conclusion, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia stands ready to work hand in hand with Africa and with all partners represented here to chart a sustainable, secure, and prosperous maritime future. Together, we can ensure that the blue economy is not only a source of wealth, but also a source of opportunity and stability for Africa, for the Middle East, and for the world. Thank you. Peace, mercy, and blessings of Allah be upon you. Assalamu alaikum.
Merci also to you. Thank you so much. The time being fast spent, we'll try to see how we can speed up the program. We'll now call Mr. Andrew Pilger, who is the from the political economic section, the United States Embassy accredited to this capital.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Recognizing all established protocols, I'm honored to join you today at the opening of the 8th Conference of the Association of Africa Maritime Administrations. On behalf of the Chargé, I extend my gratitude to the Liberia Maritime Authority for hosting this important gathering and for their kind invitation to the U.S. Embassy to participate. This year's theme, Safeguarding Our Ocean, Promoting Decarbonization in Shipping, and Exploring Africa's Blue Economy Potential, is both timely and crucial. As we convene here in Monrovia, we are reminded of the immense opportunities and challenges facing Africa's maritime sector. This conference brings together many African nations alongside representatives from the African Union, the International Maritime Organization, and other key stakeholders to collaborate on advancing sustainable maritime growth, trade, and commerce. Today, more than 90% of global trade moves by sea, and Africa's maritime domain covers 13 million square kilometers of ocean space. Shipping alone contributes an estimated $24 billion annually to Africa's economy, while the continent's blue economy, spanning fisheries, shipping, offshore energy, and coastal tourism, has the potential to generate over $400 billion per year and create 12 million jobs by 2030. Here in Liberia specifically, the opportunity is equally significant. Liberia has 7 coastal counties where the fisheries sector is already contributing around 10% of the country's GDP, supporting more than 37,000 full-time workers and providing around 65% of the animal protein consumed in coastal communities. If developed and fully implemented, Liberia's national blue economy strategy could contribute 20 to 30% of GDP by 2030, creating jobs and strengthening food security. The United States remains committed to supporting Africa's efforts to safeguarding its oceans, promote innovation and decarbonization, and unlock the full potential of the blue economy. Yet the proposed net zero framework set for adoption in October represents a misguided approach to addressing greenhouse gas emissions in the global shipping sector. While framed as a climate initiative, the NZF is in essence a global carbon tax that would impose significant economic burdens on shipping companies, energy producers, and consumers worldwide, to include Liberia and other African countries. It risks driving inflation, promoting unproven and expensive fuel technologies, and creating a global environmental slush fund at the expense of industry and customers. The United States strongly opposes this framework, and we urge Liberia and all nations, as sovereign nations, to further consider the implications of this IMO proposal on your own interests. Liberia manages a significant operation of the global merchant fleet, and as the world's largest shipping registry, Liberia's maritime governance carries global weight. The policies developed and implemented here can shape investors' confidence, influence global shipping practices, and serve as a model for how national blue economy strategies can be leveraged for sustainable growth. We look forward to engaging with all of you in meaningful discussions and partnerships that will strengthen maritime governance and foster economic prosperity across the continent and beyond. Thank you again, and I wish you all a productive and successful conference.
Thank you, sir.
For remarks, we'll now call Dr. Dayo Mobirola, DG, CEO, Nigeria Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. And most welcome, sir. A powerful nation in Africa too.
Thank you very much. Good morning, all. Please permit me to stand on the extensive protocol that has been established. However, there is a tradition that we do in our country. We always specially acknowledge the National Assembly members because of their support. So I appreciate and wish and pray that the National Assembly here in Liberia will continue to support the executive. Going to my speech, Your Excellencies, distinguished ministers, esteemed head of maritime administrations, captains of industry, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the government and the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I am deeply honored to join you at this 8th conference of the Association of African Maritime Administrations, AAMA, here in Monrovia. I want to thank the government and the people of Liberia for their generous hospitality, some of which I tasted yesterday evening. And also commend AAMA for providing us with this vital platform for dialogue, collaboration, and action. This gathering embodies our shared vision that Africa's maritime destiny can only be secured through unity of purpose. And that is one ocean, one Africa, and one future. This conference comes at a decisive moment for our continent. The maritime industry is undergoing profound change, shaped by technological disruption, the urgent call for decarbonization, and the imperative of building a sustainable blue economy. The IMO 2024 theme, our ocean, our obligation, and our opportunity, together with our chosen theme, safeguarding our ocean, promoting decarbonization in shipping, exploring Africa's blue economic potentials, speaks directly to African reality. For our continent, the ocean is not an abstraction. It is our lifeline for trade, food security, connectivity, and growth. But these opportunities can only be fully realized when we act together with a unified voice and clear strategy. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, His Excellencies, please permit me to highlight Nigeria's contribution to this collective vision here. Through the Deep Blue Project, Nigeria has pioneered an integrated maritime security architecture that has combined air, land, and sea assets to safeguard our waters. This initiative, alongside regional efforts such as the Yaoundé Code of Conduct, has made a significant contribution to reducing piracy in the Gulf of Guinea and ensuring safer seas. We know that security is the anchor of a thriving maritime economy. Without secure waters, there cannot be investment, no innovations, and no sustainable development. Nigeria remains committed to sharing its experiences, strengthening partnerships, and supporting continental security frameworks that reinforce our shared vision: one ocean, one Africa, and one future. Excellencies, distinguished members of the delegates, ladies and gentlemen, let me be frank. Africa is a maritime continent of immense strategic importance, with 44 African states as members of IMO, which is 25% of the total members of IMO. Our continent holds formidable political strength. Yet, Africa occupies only 4 seats in the IMO Council, a very low representation that does not reflect either our numerical strength or our relevance to global trade and shipping. In our own opinion, the challenge lies not in our numbers, but in our hesitation. Too often, African states do not consistently participate in IMO meetings or engage fully with the organization's political dynamics. This underutilization of our collective voting power deprives us of the influence we deserve. It is in this spirit that I humbly call on all African member states to lend their full support to Nigeria's candidacy for re-election into the IMO seats under Category C. Nigerian re-election to the category, to the council, will not only amplify Africa's voice, but also ensure that the continent's interest remains firmly on the global maritime agenda. We pledge to serve with dedication, transparency, and commitment to Africans' common maritime destiny. I pledge to call on all African states and to act decisively without hesitation. We would really appreciate all African states to vote so that their voices can be heard. And not just felt, because it is important that we all work together and make a difference for Africa. As we look ahead, this conference must move us from discussion to action. We must harness Africans' vast experience, vast in capacity building, and embrace a fair and inclusive transition to net zero. One that recognizes our development realities and does not impose undue burden on Africa. Together, let us commit an actionable roadmap that aligns with AIMS 2050, the African Nations Agenda 2063, and the Sustainable Development Goals. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, if we remain united in security, in capacity, in diplomacy, and in representation, Africa can and will shape the future of global maritime governance. For indeed, in our unity lies our strength, and in our stewardship lies our destiny, which is one ocean, one Africa, and one future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor. And Doctor just signaled me. He said, while Nigeria is going for re-election, Category C, he wants us very this year to remember his brother, the West African brother, Liberia Category A. Thank you, Doctor. Next on our program We'll now invite, we'll now invite Dr. George, I'm sure it's George, from the Kenya Maritime Authority for special remarks. It's not. Okay, then we'll recognize the chairman, who is from Kenya, for his official introduction and special remarks.
Thank you. Your Excellencies, representatives of Liberia government, and members of the Parliament, and members of the Diplomatic Corps, Commissioner of Liberia Maritime Authority, representatives of International Maritime Organization, IMO, esteemed colleagues from international community, heads of delegation of maritime administrators, distinguished guests, partners, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jambo and good morning.
Jambo sana.
It's with profound sense of honor and collective purpose that I stand before you here today, not only as a representative of the government of Kenya, but also as the current chair of the Association of African Maritime Administrators. On behalf of His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, and the entire Kenyan nation, I extend our warmest greetings to the government and the resilient people of Liberia for their hospitality and arrangements made for this 8th AAMA conference. Let me begin by paying special tribute to our host. Your commitment to the maritime cause is an inspiration to us all. We are deeply grateful for the warm welcome to this beautiful city of Monrovia. We gather here under the theme that is both urgent and inspirational: safeguarding our ocean, promoting decarbonization in shipping, and exploring Africa's blue economy potential. This theme resonates deeply with Kenya's own development agenda, which places the sustainable blue economy in the heart of our economic transformation. It challenges us all to look beyond the horizon and recognize that our oceans, seas, lakes, rivers are not merely bodies of water, but the very lifelines of our continent's prosperity, food security, energy needs, and integration. As the AAMA chairman, I'm compelled to reflect on our journey since the first AAMA conference in Ghana. We have made strides, but the tides of challenge are relentless. Piracy may have evolved in form, but it persists. Illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing continues to plunder our resources. We are yet to run African internal fleets, and our seafarers still lack ships for seatime training. The full potential of our blue economy is yet to be fully explored. Maritime pollution threatens our ecosystems, and the impact of climate change are eroding our coastlines and altering our maritime domain. Yet within these challenges, there lie immense opportunities. The African Union Agenda 2063, the Africa we want, clearly envisions a prosperous Africa based on inclusive growth and sustainable development, driven by its citizens the African Maritime Transport Charter and the African Free Continental Trade Area. The blue economy is central in this vision, and now AAMA has picked up with a fully furnished office space and a bank account. At Kenya Maritime Authority, we have provided an office space which we need to take advantage of and fully implement and have a furnished office. Therefore, our mandate is coming together as African maritime administrators is very clear, and we must strengthen maritime governance and safety, invest in capacity building and technology, harmonize our legal regulatory frameworks, and champion sustainability. During our tenure as chair, Kenya has prioritized these pillars. We have worked to foster dialogue and collaboration among member states. We are excited to see such a good turnout despite absence of a sponsor this time around. But the work is far from complete. This conference is not just a meeting, but it's a call for action. It's a platform to share best practices, to forge partnerships, and to agree on concrete, actionable challenges. Over the next few days, let us discuss, be frank, forward-looking, and focused on solutions. Let us all leave Monrovia with a renewed sense of unity and a clear roadmap that will guide AAMA towards a safer, more secure, and more prosperous maritime future for Africa. May I break here and request that the delegates that have come from Kenya, you may stand to show solidarity with this conference. Thank you. You can see we have come in big numbers. Thank you. You can sit. May I also request the delegates from the larger East African to also stand up. Tanzania, Uganda, and any other. Thank you. You can see the support. You can sit. The East African and the Great Lakes region is giving to AAMA and Maritime. As you stood, I was just thinking about what Saudi Arabia said. They said and pledged $200,000 on maritime security. And I was nudging him and telling him that from the greater East African countries, maybe you should double it to 400,000. I also take this opportunity as your chair to also tell you that Kenya is seeking the election in IMO category C this coming December as Africa, and the voice from the Great Lakes region, from the East Africa and Africa in general. Let's all support and work together for our great continent. In the spirit of Kenya, we have a saying called Arambe. Arambe means all of us working together. Let us pull together to become a force in the global maritime conversations, both in business and the regulatory space. I thank you for your attention. Asante sana. Thank you.
Asante poa.
Thank you. Can we get another hand of applause for him? At this time, we'll have a televised message from the IMO Secretary General. So next is the televised message from the IMO Secretary General.
Sarah.
President Joseph Nyuma Bokan of the Republic of Liberia. Distinguished participants, your presence here in Monrovia, a city with a proud maritime legacy, reflects a shared commitment to shaping a more inclusive, secure, and sustainable global maritime sector. This conference marks a pivotal moment to take stock of the progress achieved since the summit in Dar es Salaam and to evaluate the challenges that remain in delivering on the 6 resolutions adopted in 2024. These resolutions cover critical themes, starting with decarbonization of international shipping, governance, facilitation of maritime trade and development in Africa, financing sustainable maritime transport in Africa, capacity development and training for future maritime challenges, enhancing maritime safety and security, and gender and diversity in the maritime sector. I urge you to take this opportunity to review and consider the practical solutions that will unlock the full potential of the blue economy of the African continent and align with the International Maritime Organization's strategic objectives and thematic priorities. The maritime sector is undergoing profound transformation, driven by the need to decarbonize and the technological developments. These shifts demand bold leadership, regional cooperation, and the full commitment for everyone to implement the IMO regulations. The approved IMO Net Zero framework will be considered for adoption at the second extraordinary session of the Marine Environment Protection Committee, just a little over a week from now. The Net Zero framework, once adopted, will be a new Chapter 5 in MARPO Annex 6. To ensure the fullest implementation, I call on AAMA member states that have not yet ratified MARPO Annex 6 to consider doing so as soon as possible. IMO stands ready to provide targeted capacity building assistance and technical expertise to achieve the objectives set out by the organization. A globally harmonized implementation of IMO instruments is essential to ensure that shipping remains safe, secure, and environmentally responsible everywhere and for everyone. I wish you all a successful conference. His Excellency President Joseph
Please give him a round of applause. That's the Secretary General of the IMO. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's very nice to see all of you in Monrovia. We're very happy. At this moment, I'd just like to recognize the presence of Major Josh Bomodini from Kenya. Please give him a round of applause. He's representing the Permanent Secretary of Kenya Maritime Authority. Thank you. At this point, in Liberia, we believe so much in culture. You can see we keep displaying our cultural dance and everything for you because we are traditionally African first before we're anything, before we're a big maritime nation or whatever else you know about us. So once again, we will have the Liberian cultural performance for your indulgence. Please give them a round of applause. here. At this moment,
This is vision on TV, whatever you're watching it from.
we would like to welcome here the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs. With many years of public service, we welcome to the podium Minister Samuel Stifkwa. Please rise. All rise, please.
Hey. Presidential affairs.
Good morning. Please be seated. Thank you very much for your warm welcome, and it is an honor to be here this morning and to join all of you on behalf of the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Joseph Numa Boakai Sr., whom many of you already know, has been attending the 80th General Assembly of the UN, and he's expected back home later on this evening, and as a result he's asked us to represent and to make remarks on his behalf. And so I bring you very warm greetings from His Excellency, and he's also asked me to extend to you his best wishes and full support for this very, very important assembly. Again, on behalf of the government and people of Liberia, it is my honor and my pleasure to welcome all of you and to wish you a wonderful and successful stay in Liberia and for great success during your deliberations. For Liberia, it is with pride and a long-standing history of our shipping traditions. It is quite an honor for us to be hosting this 8th Assembly of the Association of African Maritime Administrators. It is both a privilege and beyond that, it is a responsibility. This year's theme, Safeguarding Our Ocean, Promoting Decarbonization in Shipping and Exploring Africa's Blue Economy Potential, is not just timely, but in fact, it is urgent. Africa's maritime domain forces are increasing. We have a number of challenges. Those challenges range from piracy to illegal fishing and also to some maritime crimes. At the same time, because we're in the modern era, we have threats like cyber security and extensive effect of climate change. All of those are major challenges facing our maritime industry. However, these challenges also offer significant opportunities. With over 26,000 nautical miles of coastline, abandoned fisheries, biodiversity, and vast ocean resources, Africa is uniquely positioned to develop its blue carbon economy for prosperity and for the benefit of all of our countries. Yet, as our president often says, opportunities are just opportunities. But in order to make the best of them, opportunities must be accompanied by vision. Opportunities must be championed by leadership. Opportunities can only be effective if there is collective action. This is why under the President's arrest agenda for inclusive development, Liberia is placing governance, the rule of law, and the accountability at the very center of our sector, including maritime. transparency, and efficiency in maritime governance will not only strengthen Liberia's economy, but will also serve as a model for the region. Liberia's maritime program, as many of you know, is already one of the most successful in the world, but we can do more. And we are determined to do more. We are determined to protect our oceans. We are determined to promote clean energy. And we are uncompromising when it comes to cementing our position as a driver of effective maritime program and sustainability in Africa. As an African proverb says, smooth seas do not necessarily make successful sailors. And so in Liberia, we view the Association of the African Maritime Administrators not only as a partner, not only as collaborators, but also you are leaders in shaping the future of Africa's blue economy. This assembly must be very clear about one thing. You must lead from here with a determination to do more for our respective countries. This assembly must be much more than a dialogue. It must lead to concrete actions, including roadmaps for decarbonization. It must also come up with strategies for combating illegal fishing. And at the end of your assembly, we would like to see you come up with frameworks that will ensure that our young people are trained, our young people, the future of our nations, are empowered, and that they are also employed in the maritime sector. Ladies and gentlemen, we are especially grateful to our international partners and stakeholders, including the International Maritime Organization, development partners, and investors, whose continued support strengthens our capacity. Liberia values this cooperation, and the President has expressly asked me to assure you that we are committed to working hand in hand with you to achieve our objectives. Looking ahead, Liberia will continue seeking re-election. Liberia will be seeking re-election to Category A Council seat of the International Maritime Organization. As the only African country in that category, we do not see this as a seat for Liberia alone, but we see this as Africa's voice at the global table. And indeed, you, we expect, will support Africa's voice. With your support, we can send a strong and unified message to the world that Africa is serious, Africa is united, and Africa is ready to lead in the maritime affairs of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, as I draw these brief remarks to a close, let me again, on behalf of our President, extend a hearty welcome to every one of you. If this is your first time in Liberia, we encourage you to enjoy our Liberian cuisine. We got the best bambada, and let's settle the debate once and for all. We got the best jollof rice in the world, not just in Africa, in the world. Sorry Nigeria, sorry Ghana. But thank you so much for having us be a part and to say a word of welcome to all of you. As you assemble here today, we look forward to the outcomes of your deliberations. Together, we can craft what Africa desires. We can be peaceful, we can be supportive, we can be prosperous, we can be united, and our people can benefit immensely from that which God has blessed us with. President Boakai extends his special message to all of you with a request that you will have success in your deliberations. Thank you and welcome to Liberia once again.
Thank you so much. kind enough to join us in the photo session outside of the hall. So outside of the hall, right on the staircase where we have the display of the banner, there will be a section for photo taking, which will take place now. I'll ask all the press to please move outside as our panel, our dignitaries on the stage will join us outside. Protocol will guide you, and we will have photograph session. Dignitaries within the hall, please join us outside for a moment of photo taking. Protocol is outside, and they will be waiting to guide you through the session. Thank you so much. After this, it's tea break. Thank you.
So, this is Vision on TV, wherever you're watching it from. That was the voice of the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs. We are taking our camera outside for a photograph. Right after the photograph, we will make sure to come back into the hall to continue the section. We shared our live broadcast here. Where are you watching it from? One is to be welcome to our platform. This is Vision on TV, wherever you're watching it from. Something very cool. Why are we looking good? I'm going to get my glasses. This is also This is it. This is Vision on TV. Let me not embarrass you. We'll try. I'll wait for you.
Okay, thank you very much.
That's it, I owe you.
And this is the future. We are looking at ways as Africans we can have one voice so that we can have flags flying our continent in terms of shipping.
You spoke about infrastructure as well as human resources. How far can AAMA go in terms of making sure that this works out after this conference?
As AAMA and for Africa, and we have many countries that have joined AAMA, having a united voice even in our member states, we can garner resources to ensure that we achieve our objectives in maritime.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have to leave you to take some of the photographs. Probably we might talk midway through the conference.
Thank you.
That's the president of the American Associations in Liberia. Okay. Where you got
Yeah.
Jamil. And so viewers, this is how we let us say thank you for watching this section of the AAMA Association, African Maritime. So thank you for watching.
I like that.
So we want to say thank you for watching the opening of the 8th Association of African Maritime Administration Conference 2025 here in the Ministerial Complex. We say the EJS Ministerial Complex that was built by the President of the Republic, Eddie Johnson Sirleaf, former President of the Republic of the UK. So I want to say thank you for watching this section and have a wonderful, wonderful.
Hey, excuse me. Right there. Hey, man. That's small. No, you got small.